Hello guys, let's check some few things. Let me know if you can hear me. Looks like it's been a while since we did a live stream. So if you can hear me, just text something. And other than that, I'm going to assume uh, that you can hear me. So anyway, let me see who's in here. We have Esther from Legon, Salif. It's good talking to you. Then check in as you come in so we know who's here. Darren, bro, I hope you're having a good time in Ghana. And also Bonusway is in the house. Clement, hello everyone. I wanted to take this time so we can just chat a little bit. So if you have questions, you can put them in. And if for some reason I forget your question, maybe restate it down the road, whatever, and then I'll do my best to get through all of them. So back, I've been posting some videos last week. I think 4 videos because I wanted to get some information out. Like I said, I don't want to be in a situation that I'm just posting videos for the sake of it. It has to be something I think is pertinent, to share with you guys. So anyway, so let me know if you have questions. Like I said, just put them in. But so there's few things that I really want to talk about, and then I'll get to your question and answer, Esther, for you. So obviously, I'm of the mindset that for us that we live here or elsewhere outside the continent, it's very, very important that we return to the continent and do something for ourselves and also for our community and for the continent overall, right? And there's place for everybody to play that role. So because we don't want to be in a situation in which we are forced to do something in a haste because we we are desperate, because when you're desperate, usually you make bad decisions, and also people exploit that vulnerability. So I'd rather have us actually plan this, take our time, and methodically, build something. And so that is one aspect. So that is one of the reason why, after going through the whole building process myself, learning some few things, talking to people, and that kind of stuff, hearing stories, crazy stories about people that they've had issues with their projects and that kind of stuff, wasting a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars and pounds. And we decided that we want to offer another way, for people to be able to to get those dreams accomplished. And so that is the thought, and I think like the stuff we try to do is a little bit different. It's not just for us as building; it's just we're looking at the big picture. So there's a lot of things behind us creating the company. Okay, so and all is for your benefit, because we know there's an urgency and we don't have time, and so we want to get things done so then we can move on. And also in the process, you see, the thing is like in the process of doing that, it's like you also find something about yourself. You find out things you can do. You find out your abilities. You find out that you can actually do something greater than you thought you could. So, and then that would just move on to other things like other businesses that you want to start down the road, and that kind of stuff. So that was the thoughts behind that. And also, there's a lot of um, experience in this building thing, especially if you are building from outside. Some of them I can't really talk about it here because there's a blueprint of how you can build and still manage everything, keep an eye on everything from outside. There's a blueprint. There's some science to this kind of stuff that we've narrowed down uh, through like experience and refinement. There's a way you can keep an eye on everything, and that information has to be paid service because um, there are also builders that also look at this channel, and maybe if they know what we're trying to do to keep an eye on things, they might also adapt. Okay, but we can do that. You don't. It would be nice if you're on the ground, but you don't have to be there. For my case, I was in there, and things also got taken care of. So there's a way we can go about it that you can rest assured that keep people are like doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, so but that only comes through the consultation. And the consultation, I always push for that because it's very very important. A lot of us, want to do something. We have no idea what we want to do, how we want to start it, and so understanding the whole process, what it's going to take, can help you, plan very well, right? Can help you plan very well because other than that, it's like, the builder can tell you all kinds of stuff, and maybe it might not be in your interest, right? So we narrow down and give you like a roadmap of the expectations, even if you choose not to build with us, what you should expect when something looks fishy and that kind of stuff, right? So it's very, very important because it's going to cost some money, it's going to cost some time, it's going to cost a lot of things, and you want to make sure you're efficient, and that's the goal, efficient, right? You want to be efficient, and that kind of stuff. So, and the sooner we build, I think the better it is. Anyway, so I'll go here and then answer a few questions and continue. So Esther, um, so yes, your question was, do you have to get a permit from fire service before registering your building permit? Yes and no. If you are building residential property, no. If you are building like a commercial building or maybe a large size complex, yes, you need the fire service have to come in, inspect the building. You need a permit, and also the environmental protection services or agency will have to come in as well. So it depends what you're trying to do. For building your personal house, no. If you want to build like a mall or like a hotel or something like that, yes, you have to come in. So I hope that helps. Um, so anyway, so you can still put in the questions about what is going on. What some of the questions you have. So back on the business part. So that is why we created this thing is designed for you to benefit and remove the headache, right? It's funny. We Africans, we are a little funny sometimes. It's like sometimes I talk to people and we've developed this relationship with them, and then it's like they still use other people for some reason to handle their project, i.e., family, which I'm totally against. And then something happens, right? And something happens, and then they share that with you, and you'll be like, you don't even know what to say because you feel like at this time they should make certain decisions, but I understand people wants to try to do things on their own, but for me, I don't get it in the sense that if I want to endeavor in something, if I want to pursue something, and I know somebody who's gone that route, have done it well, I'll go there and seek advice or at least ask for help. And I don't care whether it's a female or male or whatever, because I think I want to make progress. So, it's not an ego thing. It's just I want to succeed, and if somebody can help me, I roll with that. So I think we are wasting time with all the other stuff on the side that we're trying to pursue. We are wasting time because I think what we're trying to offer, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to match it. We were born in Ghana. We were raised there. Teenagers before we came here, some of us, and so we understand certain mindset. We understand certain things, and so if you're not from there, or if you left when you were little and stuff like that, it's difficult for you to picture the extent. So we put all that in totality because we deal with our own people, so we know the tendency, and then we find ways to mitigate that kind of unnecessary behavior, that kind of stuff. So we put things in place to make sure that the building goes well as planned. Um, so sister has something about Lee. I hope you're doing well. The situation in South Africa. I'm going to talk briefly and then I'll connect it. You see, the situation in South Africa is funny because when you look at social media, people think it's just prone to South Africa. That thing can happen in Ghana. It can happen in Ghana. And I'll give you an example. Okay. Um, so I will talk about why it's important to build now, and then I'll bring it to the situation that is the xenophobia that's happening in South Africa. And I can tell you this thing can happen not only in the other African countries, but in Ghana as an example. Okay. One of the reasons I'm advocating we should build now is that um, very soon you can't. Price, Ghana is becoming very, very expensive because of the foreign influence, and they have the money to spend. And so sooner or later, you will not be able to do these things. You could, it's going to cost you probably double or more. And just not just land purchases, just everything, materials and everything, labor and everything is shooting up. So you will not be able to. Or you may have to settle for a smaller house, or you may have to make those kind of things. And these are conditions that have been affected from internal conditions and also external conditions. Okay, and I saw that vividly. When I went to Ghana, I saw that at the rate the country is developing, at the rate of foreign intervention, it's only a matter of time that you become an immigrant. You become in your own country. It's only a matter of time. Okay, and so for me, the way I am is I try to see things, analyze them, project it down the road, um, and then see what could happen, and then you plan and you make adjustment. If you see a wave coming, you don't wait to smack you in your face before you make a decision, right? So you want to prepare yourself that you let the wave carry you into your next destination. So you align yourself. We can sit there and complain about it, but there's nothing you can do. It's going to change. So you might just put yourself in a position to win than to just sit there and complain. So I'll tie it back to the xenophobia, right? Right now, in certain places in Ghana right now, if you go there, you're trying to rent and you're a Ghanaian, they will not rent to you. They will rent it to other Africans because they can pay. They can pay the price. They can pay the price. Extrapolate this thing further down the road. So what happens is because Ghana is relatively economically stable and politically stable, what is going to happen is like other Africans who have money will move into the country as they're already doing. I don't have a problem with that. I'm more about competition. Um, and so they will come in, they will acquire properties, they are ready to pay, and the average Ghanaian will not be able to create that business, start that business, run the business, rent. So you see, the foundation is being laid, and that's exactly what is happening in South Africa, right? I mean, granted, ANC has failed the black population and all that kind of stuff, but if you were born, let me use Ghana for example. If you're born in Ghana and you speak the language or multiple languages, and some non-Ghanaian, no matter another African or whatever, or somebody outside the continent comes in, and they can have this life that you've wanted. They can do well. They don't speak the language. They can do well. To some people, they resent that, and they resent that. And the situation in South Africa is that some of the politicians were feigning these things, right? I mean, you should watch during the election process. And so all it takes is for one of the few knuckleheads in Ghana, i.e., a pastor or a politician, to start saying that this African group, they are doing a little bit of that in there. Is the reason why XYZ. And then next thing you know, we are doing the same thing. So South Africa is not in isolation. It's not in isolation. This thing could easily happen in Ghana. It could easily happen to Ghana. So you put yourself in a way that you benefit, or you are not affected because somebody from Senegal, somebody from Nigeria, somebody from Mali, Burkina, Togo, Benin comes, or anywhere part of the continent comes in there, and they're able to create a business and live well. You should I don't like if I go, another African is doing well in Ghana, I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't affect me anyhow. I don't have a problem with that. So that is where we want to put ourselves in that kind of situation. And instead of all in that, there's some that will be resentful. Envy and jealousy is real. And the interesting thing is, like, Nigerians hustle. They are the most successful Africans, no matter where they reside. They hustle. Um, sometimes not the appropriate way, but they hustle. I like their hustle, and that kind of stuff. So you can always learn and pick things from other people, and stuff like that. So let's not think this thing cannot happen in Ghana or our respective countries. It definitely could happen. And if it doesn't happen between the Africans, it can happen between the Africans and non-Africans. So we just want to put ourselves in a situation that you are not affected in a lot of the things that goes on because you have handled your business. Okay? So Clement says, do you strongly advise that we build or acquire land in the first class residential area? It's different. Okay? It's different. So there's been, like, let's say if I was like 55, 60 years old, chances are I will buy than build, because sometimes you don't want to go through the building process, unless maybe if I have money right away to build like within a year, then maybe I'll do it, and that kind of stuff. So there's pros and cons, depends what you want. uh, it's difficult to buy your dream home. It's very, very difficult. It might get close, but it's really, really difficult. um, and so if you don't want to go through the hassle, you don't want to go through that stuff. So everything has its pros and cons. They may be buying this thing. For some of us, we want to build, we want to be involved, we want to create, we want to build this dream. Yes, there's headaches sometimes and that kind of stuff, but it's a level of, like, there's different between building and buying, because I think building is personal. It's very personal. There's more emotions attached than just buying the building, and that kind of stuff. So it depends. It depends. There's not like a right or wrong way to either build or buy. It depends what you want and at what stage are you in your life. So I hope if that makes sense. Um, Cesspit. Can you elaborate more? Disposal. So what do you mean disposal? Can you elaborate more on the question? Disposal in terms of waste. Um, some say Felicity said, "Do I need to have a consultation to get recommendations from you?" So this is what we are doing. In the past, I've given like recommendation and that kind of stuff. And we are not doing that because so some of these guys are part of the so they they're part of the business, and the reason why I don't want to do that anymore is that um, if I give a recommendation, it becomes you and them. Something happens, I don't really know what is going on. Then I don't want a situation that my name is being put somewhere else, like, oh, you know what, he sent this person my way and that kind of stuff. So what we're trying to do, so we these people are working for us. So whatever project you want, you come to us. I can oversee it. I can make guarantees things are gonna get done, and that kind of stuff. So we've stopped doing the recommendation. It's just they are part of the team now. But I think consultation is important because sometimes we may have to tell you that this project you're about to do, maybe save more for the next project because they go together and it makes financial sense to do those two projects at the same time. Or because we try to minimize waste. That's the big thing because we know a lot of people don't have money and time to do that. So we are honest when we go through the consultation. It's not about just getting a buck from you. It's just we want to be transparent. We want to actually educate you, inform you, so then you can make decisions, better decisions even down the road. So we will, even if you're not at the roofing level, we may even discuss the options down the road. So then you can have ideas. You can have ideas. So then you can plan well. Because in the end, you want to get something you truly love, and that kind of stuff. So that is our goal. Um, so the waste, so it's like the soccer waste. So I have so some people are doing the biogas and then the biofuel. So I have the biofuel. When I went there, I tested it. I mean, it worked fine. I didn't have any problem, but you know, I had 10 people stay at the house. So there was a lot of usage. And so, I mean, it was fine, but time, this thing takes time for you to actually gauge and stuff like that. But, if that system doesn't work, there's provisions. If I want to do sock away, it's all about all the planning stuff. I can do that. But in the meantime, it's working very fine. Okay, so keep sending the questions in. And so, Ghana is lovely. Um, is still, I think, a good place for some of us that are Ghanaians or even non-Ghanaians to build, to start a business, and that kind of stuff. It's funny. Social media is really funny. And the thing, the interesting thing is that, like, you know, I think this is probably like a philosophy for life, not necessarily for this building, is that so who you listen to, how who you hang with, and how you spend your time is gonna dictate the outcome of what you get out of life, right? And social media is funny because sometimes I just when I have a little bit free time, I go in and see what is going on, and sometimes I know like people really, especially when it comes to the building process, sometimes I know like people really don't know what they're talking about, and they don't know what they are talking about, and I don't think like maybe they are being dishonest or anything like that. It's just they haven't gotten to that stage, right? So they haven't gone through the process to really understand uh, what it is they are saying. They are saying something, but I know it really is not going to work out that way because there's other things that comes in and they are not like factoring that in. And so is very, very important that you listen to people that have gone through the process, that have something to show for it. Okay, that is not just the building process, that's just life in period. um because somebody may only give you bad advice that's going to cost you time and money. So you have to be very, very careful when people put, like, for example, I don't talk about moving to Ghana, right? Like go there and live there. Why? I haven't moved. I haven't lived there. I have some ideas. I've talked to people that have lived there, but that is not a topic I'm going to address until I have done that and I have succeeded and I'm living well, right? Then I can say X, Y, Z. That is how I approach the bidding process too, right? X, Y, Z. I have an idea. I can probably figure something out, but it's just going to be opinion. And when you have the opportunity to talk to people, you have to be very, very careful what information you put in out there. So I stayed in my lane. I know what is going on in the world because I pay attention, but I stayed in my lane because and talk about the things that I've experienced and stuff. And then when it's an opinion, I'll tell you this is an opinion, not fact or anything like that. So so those are the things that I think like and we do talk behind the scenes. You know, some of the sisters that are building, some of the guys that are sister that we do communicate, we support each other and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't go to like somebody's channel and bash them for something like that. If that person we already have some kind of relationship, I might reach out behind the scenes and be like, just double check these things. But other than that, it's like I just leave it alone, and that kind of stuff. No, I'm not in Ghana. I'm back in the US. But we do go to Kumasi. We were there when I went down there a month, the first month. And also one of my friends also has a project in Kumasi. So I'm going to send my builder to go there in the next couple of weeks to see what stage the project is and then give recommendation that way. So we do. So Kumasi, Takoradi, Cape Coast, Accra, Eastern region, and that kind of stuff. We're yet to go to the north, but we do. We do go to Kumasi. Greetings, greetings. So buying product outside, it depends. It depends. It depends. It depends what you want. Um, for small things, lighting, little things, get them in Ghana. Maybe certain appliances. Get your dryer in Ghana, 220 in Ghana. But things, you know, fridge, gas and stuff like that, you can get them here. So it depends. The most important thing is like if something breaks or something is damaging that, which is going to happen. You want to be able to go to the store and then have those things easily bought and that kind of stuff. So it depends. See, electric wires, floor ties, you can get them. The thing is like I bought my floor ties from here because I wanted to control. Um, I want to control the quality and also control like just the design aspect. The choices. I want to have those choices because it was a big house, and the thing with the tiling is like once you put it on the ground, that's it. So you have to be really careful because it stays there for a long time. If you don't like it, it's going to be bugging you the whole time. So you want to spend, I think I probably spent a month, you know, picking them, going to the store, looking at them, having a visual because sometimes they look different online. And because it's like once you put them down there, that's it. So you can do that. Electric wires are just there's some good ones in Ghana, and my electrician is very, very good. He knows all the good ones. So I've never had any electrical wiring problem at my house. And we have a bunch of stuff, CCTV and everything, and it's like so fine. So there's good ones. I'll say buy them in Ghana. But this information, share them, because there's a lot of people that needs to hear this. So share the videos on your other social media platforms. Um, we will need everybody if we are going to do uh, something for the continent. We're going to redeem the continent's image. We're going to need everybody. we're gonna need everybody. So and everybody plays a big role. So we need information to go out and be very very careful. I don't even know if this person is watching, but I don't care. I got a video about 3 4 days ago, and the person was like, "Hey, check out this video." And so I went there, and this person uh, was so they're from here. They've never been to Ghana, and then they were talking about the process of. Um, so they were saying that a lot of the African Americans in the U.S., 99.9% of them are not ready uh, to move back to Ghana. And then she goes through reasons why being they need to get this tax ID identification, BS, and that kind of stuff. And then she goes all this stuff. And so, but I listened through the whole thing. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. In the end, she kind of like gave me a shout out. But the whole video was kind of like, so she's never been there. And it's amazing how people sit someplace and then they got all this information. And so I watched it. I went back and watched it again, and just trying to figure out what her point was. Um, and it's like the interesting thing is that we have to be careful. For us, we have to be careful in the sense that we worried about these details, right? We worry about these details. Meanwhile, the foreigners. So you have people that don't look Ghanaian. They're not even black, and they go to Ghana or any of these African countries, and they acquire land, they acquire property, they build businesses, they are successful, they extract all the resources. And you are telling me African Americans that are black, that have heritage roots to the continent, can go because they are not Ghanaians. So these are the things. So people put this thing out there, and it's like, and some people, unfortunately, some people, use it as a reason to not do anything. It's like we come to the US, we don't really have, are you saying we have to be a citizen to succeed here? You kidding me? There's some people that don't even have documentation that they're successful. There's some people that are successful on visa. Some people that are successful on just having green card. So you hear this nonsense, and it's like, that's what I'm saying. You got to be really, really careful, because if you have a little bit doubt and fear, people prey on these things. So this is Ghana, this is Africa. Everything is negotiable. Okay. And so you have to go there, and yes, it is like, because I'm a US citizen, when I go to Ghana someplace, they play this like you are not a Ghanaian citizen, Kami. I still get the stuff I want to get done. You know what I mean? And I speak multiple Ghanaian languages and stuff like that. And my name is fully Ghanaian, at least my last name, and stuff like that. And it's like, does it bother me? No. No. It's like, I'm native. Don't confuse citizenship to heritage. It's a whole different thing. And so it's like, you can use any excuse to say, well, I was not born in Ghana. And the question is, you are American here. How did they treat you here? Give me a break. Give me a break. You were born here. You built this country. How did they treat you? So we gotta be careful on that kind of stuff. So our electrician is one of our core group. So you have to work with us, and then we will take it from there. Stuff like that. He's very very good. I can vouch for him. He's one of the few people that I can send to the house, and I don't have to be there, and they have access to everywhere in the house, because he's very very good, and I trust him, stuff like that. So these guys are part of the team. He's one of our core team. We have a very very good relationship, so he can deliver for you whatever you want. Okay, so let us know. If you email me more than a week, and you haven't, please get a response, please send it. Send it again, please. When I was in Ghana, for some reason, I didn't even get like when people respond to my comments, I didn't get notifications. So I'm going back and sometimes going back to 2 months responding to people. So um, I try to be, I'm very responsible. I care about the questions that you ask me. So if I don't see it, probably if I don't respond, I have not seen it. If I've seen it, definitely going to respond. So please send it back to me and I'll get you a response today. Okay. Is building a house and renting a good investment? Um, so building in the sense of, some people will say, it's only when you sell it, that is an investment. Sometimes, investment can be emotional investment. It can be a mental investment. It doesn't have to be a financial investment. Okay. There's a different way of, I think when you own something, it just frees you. Like, it just frees you. I don't have to deal about coming out with another 2 years of rental uh, money to take care of that stuff. It's just, I know that this thing is done. I can move on, focus on other things. So that I can say there's a lot of investment in that. Okay. And sometimes the mental and emotional investment outweighs the financial investment, you know. So I think it depends how you want to look at it. Um, it's a very, very good investment. Renting, and I think, like, so here's the thing. On there are people that, like, let's say they want to build a house, but they want to rent. And then you know what they do? They go rent like a whole house, right? Pay all this money, like maybe 2,000, 2,005, or 3,000 CDs a month, 4,000, something more and stuff like that. I think like that is not the best way use of money. Okay. Because that's money that you could put towards the project, right? So rental is just temporary thing. You shouldn't be putting a lot of money in there. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, you should be putting the money towards your own building. Okay, if that makes sense. Yes, so you have a project in Kumasi. Let me know what you do. Okay, so shoot us an email, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, we will probably do consultation, figure exactly what you want. We will need a contact number in Kumasi and stuff like that. And then we will send my builder over there to meet with them. And then they'll go to the site. And then he's going to get an overview. And then we'll get back to you with the recommendation, like what is the next step based on the state of the project. You know, here's what we do. We've gone to some projects that they did a crappy job. Is tell you a quick story. I went to a house, phenomenal house, great location, has great rental potential, like great. The problem is the builders, okay, the initial builders took so many corners, and what they did was, it was kind of like a waterlogged area, and they never addressed that situation. So you have a situation, the house is being built, leaving now, ties already laid out, and all the ties have popped out. Literally, it would take thousands of dollars to solve that. So what we do is, when we go to a site and somebody hasn't done what they're supposed to do, we don't continue. What we do is, like, we say, hey, there's XYZ here we have to fix. We're not just going to go do our thing. That's not how we do it. We're not doing that. We will tell you that this thing, we have to solve this because we know it's going to create a problem. So we solve those issues. If we can do it, we would do it. If we can't do it, we'll tell you, okay, this problem has to be remedied before we can come in. We're not just gonna go do that stuff. We're not gonna do that. If that means, like, we don't earn that business, that's fine. We are not just gonna go do something knowing that it's gonna come back and disturb you. Um, Best way to invest in Ghana. That's a bunch of stuff. I don't want to give away all the secrets. That's a bunch of stuff. But if there's one thing I can tell you. Um, One thing, okay? Get land, secure it, acquire the land and secure it. That's all I'm gonna say. Get it and secure. Okay. Okay. Relocating. That's good. That's good. Yes. Yes. Wallace. Yep. Yep. So visit. Let us know how we can help you. Um, I'll be in Ghana December. It'd be nice if we can get together. We can brainstorm. Um, my only concern for this YouTube channel, my only concern, which I think is a legitimate concern, is that there's other things that I'm working on that could take a lot of my time away. And that is why last week I posted those 4 videos. And so I'm trying to get the message out because there's other things that I'm putting a lot of resources, time, and energy in there. That also is like a game changer. It's a game changer. And when everything goes well with that thing, it wouldn't, I don't want it to be like, oh, okay, like, he doesn't care anymore. No, I don't want to be like, it's just that my time becomes a little bit extremely limited because I need to pay attention to the other stuff that I'm doing. So that is the thing. So, but I have some time now. I can probably manage some time from now to December. It gets tricky as we hit late November, December. Uh, then everything goes well. Next year, it becomes a little bit tricky situation. So I wanted to put that out there for your own planning as well. That do it as we can, because very soon, you know, certain things might change. With what I'm trying to do. Okay, so just something for your own planning. So there's something about free land. Nothing is free. Okay. Lessons in life. Nothing is free. So I heard about that. Long story short, we heard this before, in which some guy in Atlanta scammed a bunch of people. There's nothing free land. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible, but you see, you gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. Um, it was free, and then somebody was saying you need to pay $700 for processing fee and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, look, we all mature. Nothing's free. Nothing is ever free. You pay now, you pay later, right? So I wouldn't get into that. You can. There's a lot of land in Ghana, so I would say go there. Um, One thing I would do a land video, an update on the land video. Specifically, it will be just that on the land thing. I think like there's some points that I need to hit. It's going to be a short video, but I think it's going to be very, very important. Because land is very, very tricky. It's like there's a lot of stuff behind the scene. There's a lot. There's more behind the scene. There's more politics behind the scene than, and we don't talk about it. Nobody is talking about it. I've checked all the channel. Nobody. And the stuff that we know. And sometimes we don't even talk about it because you don't want to know. What do you care about is like your land is, litigation free and registered, but there's all kinds of stuff that is behind the scene. Okay. Yes. So some builders is true. Like I have 2 subscribers contact me. I'm not gonna give their name because I didn't have their permission. And my electrician had to go to their house because it was shady work. I mean, stuff all over. I mean, so they had to re-crack all the flooring, lay everything, and so we do a bunch of stuff like that. You go in there, you don't know what this wire is going, and you have no idea what this thing is doing here. Um, and so I'm very, very confident in the team. I'm very, and you know what? It's like my builder, Steven, the one that is on the website, is just like me. You know, he's just like me. I never have to worry about him. I never have to worry about him. So I know the team is very, very solid. Um, it's very, very solid because they know the certain things we're not going to tolerate. So it's very, very solid. So you just have to be careful. You have to be careful. Um, and so we created this company because it was very necessary. It came as a default of what was going on. You know, it was as a result of that. We created this business. So it's like is necessary. It's very, very necessary. There's all kinds of stuff going on, man. There's all kinds of stuff going on. You don't know. You don't really know to when you start living in it. Then you're like, oh my goodness, this thing doesn't even work. There are situations that people will lay like plumbing and they don't connect it to anything. So you flush your toilet, it doesn't go anywhere. Stories. So this is all we've learned from experience and that kind of stuff. So we are pretty confident um, that we can help you. Make sure I haven't skipped it. If I've skipped your question, can you restate them, please? Okay. So what do we do? What do we provide? So we provide all the stuff related to construction, right? We still do a little bit of land acquisition. With a different approach. I'll talk more about it. The next video that I'm going to post about the land stuff. We do that. So we do everything. We can do whole buildings. Sometimes, but I think most of us would do. Most of you guys would do like projects. So we can start from foundation. We're still working on some architects to be available. Plumbing, electrical, roofing, plastering, tiling, CCTV, and the security stuff. We got it done. Except that I cannot talk more about security stuff because some people watch it. They'll find ways to go around it and stuff. But it's secured. We have so many stuff. When we sleep well. There's so many stuff that we can do. So we look at the whole thing holistically, and then after that, we do the consultation aspect. People want to know, they want to get advice on a bunch of stuff, and we do that. We do that and stuff like that. I think it's very, very important, and stuff like that. And then we do the vacation rental as one aspect, and then finally like the security stuff, which is very, very important. I don't think, man, the security is a joke, man. I can tell you stories. It's like, we believe is Latin what we're doing. So in charge, I'm always in charge. Steven is in charge as well. So Steven is the guy that is gonna like, if I'm not in Ghana, he's gonna handle all the other stuff in there. We talk every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and so I'm not worried. Like, and I told you, it's like when you are building in Ghana, like you only have to be there if things are not going right. Right? If things are being done, which we have a blueprint for you to figure out this thing out to make sure people are actually doing the stuff. You get that through consultation. You don't have to be there, and I proved that you don't have to be there, and things were done. We started 2012. I didn't visit it till last year. And you guys saw the progression. So, and that is what we're trying to do, because flight, the money that your family is gonna extort from you, ask of you, you're spending money and all this stuff, that can go do 2 projects, right? That can go do 2 projects. So you don't have to be there. If you want to be there, great. But if we are delivering, you don't have to be there. Maybe finishing, you got to be there. Foundation, finishing. Foundation, you got to be there. Finishing, you got to be there so you can put your imprints. You can make all the decision pick the tile, tell them where they put the tiles, put the paint, and that kind of stuff. So you need to be there. Other than that, there's the structure building. No. Hand over land papers. Yes, we can do that. So let's do consultation, and then you can send me the document, and then because I want to know specifically what do you want us to look at the document. Do you want us to do a search? Do you want us to verify if the coordinate, or do we have to visit a site and then do the mapping with the GPS to see what is on the document is accurate? So let's do consultation and get all those details. Yes, but we can do that. So yes, yes. So wasted some money in the project. So it's just that, like for example, when we were doing this, when I was doing the foundation, I could have done a lot of the plumbing. Could have done a lot of them. So I think there's a video. I don't know what series number that. So plumbing is usually about three. People when people talk about plumbing, they think it's a one time. No. So you have the initial plumbing, with a 4 inch, 3.5 or 4 inch PVC pipes that collect all the waste that you're gonna connect to. So you have that one in there. So as they build to lintel level and they go eventually, they have to connect all these lines. The one that comes through to the once you designate where you want your the water tank or whatever stuff like that, you have those small pipes that will connect to the house, right? The last one is once you have the fixtures, um, and those kind of things, then that's the final plumbing. That's where they're gonna connect everything to the sink, connect it to stuff to the water heater, and that kind of stuff. So I think we should have done like maybe the first two part initially, because later on we went in and started cracking the wall and do that kind of stuff. Um, so that's something that we fixed and say, what, let's do some of these things. And because I didn't make some of the decisions ahead of time because I wasn't sure, um, that means that we have to, you know, uh, pay down the road to have things fixed instead of doing it at the beginning. So that is why the consultation is important, because we're not just going to talk about just if you're doing foundation, we're going to talk about what do you want else, right? What else do you want in the process? And so then we can plan these things down the road. Okay. um, because the thing with the builders is sometimes they tell you like, hey, you should do this, you should do this, because they want the job, you know and sometimes the sequence is wrong, is wrong. And it makes sense that when we think about roofing, it makes sense the pop, the ceiling people should be there, so they'll be talking, because the framing is going to affect the design of the ceiling you're going to do, right? So these are the things that you learn. So if the roofing company comes over there, then our ceiling group will come over there. So they are talking. Because other than that, you do your roofing, then you have to go buy a 4x4, because you got to support it, because the POP is heavy. Trust me, we want to avoid all these things, because then it becomes a waste. Because then it's like, or sometimes what happens is you've done the POP. If you have a big opening space, it start pulling down the joint. So then you have to. So imagine this: roofing is done, everything. You live in the house. Then you have to find a way and bring about 50 feet long of a 4x4, and you have to get it without damaging the ceiling. Go up there and try to support the structure, right? That is not the best way to do things, but we can do it right when we're doing framing. So we cannot do RAM F. Okay, I met with a company that is doing that. That brought the technology to Ghana. I met with them a couple hours. We check out some of their projects they're working on. Um, they are they are overstretched. They're not doing anything right now to next year because some of our clients wanted to do a RAM of building in Quail Mountains. So we went, yeah, we took the trip down there. So we don't do that. At a certain point, we're gonna link up with them. We're not there yet. We want them to get traction, stuff like that. But we met with them. They're a nice group, and stuff like that. It looks like they know what they are doing, and so we talked about joint venture down the road, but they have to sort out a lot of stuff for next year and increase their workforce capacity and that kind of stuff, and then we're gonna figure something out because it's like you know we don't knock people down. We don't do that. There's place for everybody at the table. So we just do just cement block layer, brick wall, that kind of stuff. Not container homes. We haven't done container homes. Yeah. So nature, yeah. So you do, yeah, let it settle. You do foundation. You put a sand in there. You can put some water over there, but let it settle. Rain. It's very, very important to settle. Very, very important. Keep filling. If you don't have time, keep filling it with nitrite. Pound it, fill it, pound it. It is very, very important. It settles because all in that is gonna move. Next thing you know, tires are popping up and that kind of stuff. So take your time. You know, um, nature has a way of making sure things are like settle or not, and then that kind of stuff. Don't rush. But you can also use the machine, but make sure there's a lot of water put in, and then still have it sit because eventually all settle down. Then you know whether you have to add more. That's what we did. We did well with mine. Okay, so we are approaching the hour mark. I wanted to do this about 30 minutes, but you guys have some good questions. So obviously, you know how to reach me and stuff like that. But all I'm saying is that go for it. Just go for it now. Ghana is becoming expensive soon. It's gonna be very, very difficult. It's only gonna get chaos and stuff like that. So get a land now, um, register it, secure it, that kind of stuff while you can, because it's changing. The place is changing so fast, and everybody's coming in there. Everybody want a piece of the pie. So don't wait. Don't make any excuses. Be careful who you're listening to online, that kind of stuff. And just go for it. Find out what you made out of. Okay. Obviously, we're here. We'll help you. Um, and if we can't help you, we'll find you a good resources, place that we trust that we can direct you to. But I think like this is a great opportunity for all of us. Share the video, promote them. Okay, we need to get this message out. And then if you send me an email, I haven't responded, please resend it to me at Royal Consulting Solutions at gmail.com. And then I will get to it. Okay. Wish you guys a great day wherever you are in the world. Keep the dream alive, and hope to talk to you guys soon. Thank you.